Want to get the best photos and videos of your iPhone? Turn on these settings. Go to camera, record video, make sure you're on 4K 60 FPS to get the most smooth shot. Higher the resolution, higher the quality. 60 FPS because on social media it just plays back so much smoother. You don't need 120 FPS unless you want to do slow-mo because most of the time your eyes won't pick up the difference and you save a lot on storage space. Scroll down, make sure you turn on enhanced stabilization. Very helpful for stabilizing the video. I usually don't have HDR videos because it varies between different monitors and it makes it inconsistent, so I turn that off. Auto FPS, turn this off. You don't want your videos to reduce frame rates so you compensate for a low light setting. You want to keep a consistent frame rate. Lastly but not least, lock white balance. Very important when shooting video. You don't want your videos to shift in color and temperature while you're moving between different environments. So by turning this on, it helps prevent any shift in temperature. Next, go back, record slow-mo. 180p at 240 FPS. Record cinematic. If you like to use this mode, I prefer 24 FPS because it gives you the most natural motion blur, which results to a more cinematic feel. Recording sound. If you have the option, choose spatial audio. If not, just choose stereo. Spatial just gives that a little bit more immersion using Apple headphones. If you upgrade it to the new iOS 26, you have audio zoom down the bottom. So while you're zooming in into your subject, the audio will be directional, focused on the subject in frame. Quite clever actually. Now, formats is very important. This has a lot to do with your photos, high efficiency or most compatibility. Definitely choose high efficiency. Even though you shoot in HEIF, not all devices use HEIF, but apart from the advantage of having a smaller file size and better color than JPEG, because we're using an iPhone, you can have the option to change photography styles post after you've taken your photos. Photo mode, always 24 FPS. The higher the resolution, the better the quality. I would usually turn on ProRAW and resolution controls. It just makes it a little bit easier in the control panels. If you like to use ProRAW format, I would suggest JPEG XL lossless. It is a great balance between quality and file size. Video capture, Apple ProRes, definitely turn this on. I like to use a lot of ProRes shooting and I do a lot of post-color grading. By the way, if you want to see my processes, let me know. I'm happy to do a tutorial on how I color grade my Apple footage. Preserve settings. This is actually quite important. It makes the whole shooting process a little bit more efficient. Basically, it preserves your last chosen settings even if you close the camera app. A couple of settings I would recommend turning it on. For example, the camera mode on top. If I'm shooting video, when I turn off and turn back on the camera app, I would like to continue be shooting in video. Photography style, definitely turn this on. I use one photography style for all my shots, so I like to set it as it is. One thing I would highly recommend is the exposure adjustments. I'll show you why later on, but basically it controls your set exposure every single time. And the rest is really up to you. You can follow along as I've done here, or just choose whatever your own preference is. Now, the other settings on the main page is personal choice, but I would turn on grid and also level just so we can better frame our shots. One other thing is photo capture down here, Fusion camera. I would turn on the 28 and 35mm by tapping the one-time zoom once and twice. You're able to quickly switch between the additional lenses. By the way, these are not physical lenses, it's just a digital crop, but it just makes it a little bit easier if you want to crop a certain shot. Now that the setting is out of the way, how to take better quality photos. Here are a couple of tips. Number one, lower your exposure. Whenever I take a photo, I like to hold the screen and then lock the exposure and drag it down. By lowering the exposure, I tend to get a better quality photo. Here's a couple examples. Now, you don't have to do this all the time. One other option is by clicking on the top right corner or the bottom photo button, you're able to open up your exposure settings. Click on that and then lower it to around -0.7 to -1. And remember how I said preserve your settings with exposure? Now it comes into play. Now, regardless if you close the app and turn it back on, your exposure settings will always be the one you set before. Tip number 2, always have the highest resolution. Now, because we turned on app photo controls on the top left corner, now you should have access to your megapixels. You can choose between 24 and 48 megapixels. I highly recommend the 48 megapixel because the higher the better. Likewise, if you shoot RAW, you can also turn on the 48 megapixels. Similar with videos, you can see we're shooting now in 4K 60 FPS. You can quickly switch frame rates based on your needs. And one extra tip, if you want super steady shots, turn on the action mode on the top right corner. Keep in mind though, this does have a significant crop from 4K to 2.8K. You can see here from an example, it's super steady. Sometimes I like to shoot videos and photos at the same time. How do I do this? Well, if your phone is updated to the latest version, you should have this white button on the side when you record a video. So feel free to take snaps anytime you want while you're recording a video. It won't affect the quality of your photos, but you won't be able to record live photos this way. Make sure you always shoot in the native camera. Each phone will have its native camera. I'm using the iPhone 17 Pro and my native cameras are the 1x and the 4x zoom. By shooting in the native camera, you're using the maximum resolution, getting the maximum quality photos. So for all of you who likes to zoom in camera and realize the quality is not so great, that's because you're digitally cropping your photos. It's exactly the same as using the main camera and then cropping in post. Finally, do try the photographic styles. If you're using the iPhone 17, I highly recommend Bright. It is a new style that really compensates for the skin tone, but also brightens everything else. If that was helpful, feel free to leave a like and more unbiased tips and reviews coming your way.